Hi, a very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Temasek Polytechnic School of Applied Science Diploma in Medical Biotechnology webinar. I'm Dr. Zhang. I'm the course chair of the Diploma in Medical Biotechnology. I will be one of the speakers today, and I will also be the moderator today for this webinar. So in this webinar, we hope to share with you what you will learn in the Diploma in Medical Biotechnology, what is the career opportunities for this course, and the activities available for our students to participate in. Especially today, we'll focus more on the career opportunities for this course. So we are very happy today to have with us our industry partner, who is also one of our alumni, Mr. Stephen, and current students, Tarina, to share with you about the career opportunities and the experience in the diploma. First one, you can see here. Let me first introduce you our panel of speakers. For today's speaker, besides me, first one is Mr. Chen Hong Stephen. He is a junior research fellow at the Temasek Life Sciences Laboratory. He is also a PhD candidate at the National University of Singapore. He is also the receiver of Koh Boon Hui Scholarship and Nanyang President Research Scholarship. Currently, he's doing research on molecular biology and plant-related projects. Another speaker is Ms. Tarina Tay Yen Wen. He is a current student of the Diploma in Medical Biotechnology. She's a member, she's also a member of the Medical Biotechnology interest group. This is a course level interest group. Okay. So before we start, let me show you a short video about the course. Okay.
Hey, did you know that the diplomas in Biomedical Science and Biotechnology have been merged? And it's now called the Diploma in Medical Biotechnology. But wait, there's more. It'll also be Singapore's first MOE-approved Medical Biotechnology Diploma. You can now do a new personalized medicine research option during your course of study. This option will familiarize you with the emerging trends in biotechnology and biomedical science whilst preparing you for the career of your choice. You'll also get to be part of a collaborative training program with established major hospitals and attend lectures conducted by seasoned medical practitioners from the healthcare sector. Career prospects for graduates are extremely promising. You can look forward to taking up the following posts in the biotechnology, biomedical, and healthcare sectors. To find out more, visit tp.edu.sg today.
Okay, welcome back. Through the video, I think you understand that the Diploma in Medical Biotechnology can be considered as a merger of the previous two diplomas. One is Diploma in Biotechnology, and another one is the Diploma in Biomedical Science. And you may have heard these two names in other polytechnics already. Currently, for the 5 polytechnics, only Republic Poly has both Diploma in Biotechnology and Diploma in Biomedical Science. Other polytechnics either do not have these 2 diplomas or only have one of it. For example, Ngee Polytechnic and Singapore Polytechnic only have the Diploma in Biomedical Science, and they do not have the Diploma in Biotechnology. So if you're not sure which one should I choose, biotechnology or biomedical science, you can join this diploma in medical biotechnology, since we cover both diplomas. Although it is not a simple combination of the 2 diplomas. Later, I will talk about more details. Okay. So after joining this course, in the second year, the students have the chance to choose to go for either biotechnology or biomedical science related diploma options. So you don't need to decide now. If you haven't decided yet, you can just join, and only from the second year you start to think about which path should I choose, which path I'm more interested in. Okay. So what are the differences between these two, biotechnology and biomedical science? Traditionally, biotechnology is meant to train you to work in a research laboratory or a biotechnology company testing lab. So And biomedical science is meant to train you to work in the clinical laboratory, which is working in a hospital or private medical lab. But for this diploma in medical biotechnology, we have checked with many major industry partners, including research labs, biotechnology companies, and hospitals. Our graduates can work in both areas. This one was confirmed with the industry already before we get approval from MOE. So through this introduction, I hope you've already gotten an idea of what the major career pathways for this diploma. I mentioned two major ones. One is research laboratory and biotechnology company testing lab. Another one is clinical laboratory. I hope you understand. This is only the major career pathway. Our graduates go for many other career pathways also. If you're interested in it, later during my session, we can also discuss about that. Okay, so now let me invite the first speaker. We have Mr. Chen Hong Stephen to share his insights on his experience of working at a research laboratory. So just now, I also mentioned that Mr. Chen is a junior research fellow at the Temasek Life Sciences Laboratory. So Mr. Chen, now it's your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chang. Hi, everyone. I'm Stephen. I think 29 this year. So I think just 15 years ago, or maybe 14 years ago, I was in your shoes, deciding on where to go. I think I was lucky to make a good choice overall, and right now I'm still pursuing my interest in science. I could still remember that in secondary school I was very fascinated about biology. I think it's only one of the only subjects that I'm doing quite well. Because I'm doing quite well, I became more interested, and after that I decided to take on biology in Polytechnic. After that, went on to university and found biology to be interesting. Then moving on to PhD right now. Okay, I'd like to maybe share with you all my journey on how I decided to go to TP, what led me to TP, and the research journey that I've taken. All right, can I have my slides, please? Yeah, hi. So thank you very much. I think the title of my talk is from a decided Temasek Poly student to scientific research adventure. Next slide, please. Yeah, so in 2008, I graduated from Chongqing High School at Goodman Road. My L1, R4, which means language, English, and 4 other subjects is around 12. My L1, R5 is 15. I have no CCA points. I wasn't doing so well back then in secondary school because I wasn't so involved in CCA and other things. But anyway, in the joint admissions exercise, my top 3 choices were biomedical science at Singapore Poly. The cutoff point was 10. So my second choice is applied drama and psychology at Singapore Polytechnic, and third choice is biotechnology at Temasek Polytechnic. So as you can see clearly, I couldn't hit a cutoff point for Singapore Polytechnic, and I was admitted to applied drama and psychology back then. Through some events, Temasek Poly offered me a position later on, which I will describe later. All right, next slide, please. Yeah, so I dig out from my email archive. This an email around 10 years ago. So they show that please be informed that they need to speak to me urgently from Temasek Poly. So I think this is Miss Chu Bi Ling. Yeah, so I called the number back. I think within 10 minutes, and we discussed, and they say they will offer me a position at Temasek Poly, and I without thinking too much, I think within 30 minutes, I decided that I would take out the position. So next slide, please. Yeah, so from these two emails, you can see that I replied to them quite fast, and I told them that I'll accept Temasek Poly, and I will actually drop my offer from Singapore Polytechnic. Back then, I was also interested in drama, but I felt something closer towards doing science. So in the end, I decided to take on biotech. Next slide, please. Yeah, I think the decision overall was a good one. It was a memorable and good one. Every experience will be unique. My TP experience was a bit crazy, self-exploratory. It's also enriching with several valuable practical skills and experience. And lastly, through the hard work, I was able to gain a lot more exposure to various events and to learn about things in the extracurricular capacity. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this is some old photos taken from my Facebook. A bit shameful. The left one is I think we were having a class event, and we need to dress up. And on the right, this is a photo that's taken with very good friends in my Polytechnic days. I believe my Polytechnic days was one of the best. I mean, I have very good friends who always help me. Back then, I was quite a nerdy student, so I have friends that cover me. I mean, they help me prepare materials, prepare notes, so that sometimes I will forget and they will prepare for me. And these are good friends. Anyway, the person in the red arrow, we are working in the same place now at Temasek Life Science Laboratory. Right. Next slide. The second point is I think my Temasek Poly experience was very enriching with several valuable practical skills and experience. I think back then in our practical sessions, phones was banned actually, so we can't take phones. I think so. So I can't bring out any photos for lab work, but I would say that in polytechnics especially, the amount of lab work that you get is around 40 to around 50% of your whole coursework time, and this is very valuable because actually in university students will not get this amount of lab experience. But in Polytechnic, lecturers and school invest a lot in your lab education because they want to ensure that you are able to perform work or perform the experiments directly after your graduation. So I would say that the experience was very intensive, exciting, immersive, and also very applicable. Next slide, please. And the third point is through the hard work and also some I was able to get some exposure. Over here I have four photographs. The first on the left is pre-university seminar where where TP students represent TP to meet other JC and Polytechnic students. On the right is ASEAN Science and Entrepreneurship Challenge, where we actually stay overnight to actually come out with a product. Okay, that will be that on the next day we will be judged. And on the bottom left, I attended the NEA, National Environment Agency, Youth Environmental Envoy Program. And later on, I participated in the Bayer Young Environmental Program, where I started some environmental projects. So environmental work was very close to my heart. Even university, I continued my work as a student leader in one of the major club in Nanyang Technological University, and also participated in several local and overseas events. On the right, in my student internship program or final year project in Temasek Poly, I went on to Vietnam to do stem cell research. A very memorable experience. I actually stayed there for five months, and I actually every night I was allowed to cycle around the Ho Chi Minh City. So it was one of the first time that I went overseas to on my own. Next slide, please. Yeah, so I went on to after my army, after my national service, I went on to university. I think people have this notion that that Polytechnic are for students who don't do so well. Back in those days, back in 10 years ago, I think people think that Polytechnics are for students who didn't do so well and cannot go JC and therefore go Polytechnic. I think that's a wrong notion. I think that's incorrect. I think Polytechnic gives an excellent opportunity to go in depth. At the same time, the students can carry out their breadth of knowledge to gain breadth of knowledge on their own. So they have a lot of time to also during their study breaks to learn other things. So that's really self-directed. Next slide, please. So in university, I was I am a Polytechnic student. So I graduated from university with several awards. So I'd like to point this out to you just to inspire you that the Polytechnic route can lead to academic excellence also, and maybe doing even better than other junior college students. So I was awarded the Kobunwi Scholarship Award in 2017 as this Kobumi Scholar Award is only awarded to the top 5% of university students. I also graduated as the valedictorian of my class, means the graduating speaker of my class. And lastly, I was part of the co-author of a reputable journal where I participated in the research with my supervisor Oliver Muller-Keyer and Tobias Wunder, where we characterize how carbon fixation or how photosynthesis is accelerated in some algae organism. Next slide, please. Yeah, so right now towards PhD, I'll summarize my PhD journey in 5 words. I think it's curiosity, adventure, hardship, excitement, and dreams. I think when I was an undergraduate student, I was always excited, or even Polytech in secondary school, like you. I was very excited about biology. I studied the textbook. I think that back then it was a yellow color bio textbook, and in Polytechnic I actually worked very hard. I studied nearly every day. I mean, I enjoyed studying, so I studied quite intensively. And in university, I found my interest in biology. Therefore, I pursued my PhD. Next slide, please. Yeah, so I wrote a short prose. I'm not sure whether it's interesting, but it summarizes my thoughts on PhD, on the PhD process or the research journey. So usually we begin with the question why. Why is a question driven by curiosity? Is us being curious about how the natural world works. Is a venture to explore the unknown. Despite hardship and perseverance, setbacks and heartbreaks are inevitable. Excitement comes when a hypothesis turns out to be true, and I dream that one day the discoveries can make a difference in the world. So in research, I think people or researchers are driven by curiosity. Being curious about how things work. Will this work that way? Will if I add this, will it change in another way? And it's always an adventure to explore the unknown. However, the unknown is so wide that sometimes we might go in the wrong way. So therefore, we need hardship and through hardship and perseverance, usually comes with setbacks and heartbreaks. However, when some things start to work, or when a hypothesis turns out to be true, then it becomes exciting. And definitely we hope that the work that we produce do make a difference in the world. All right, next slide, please. So the key takeaway message that I'd like to share, that I'm sharing with you all, is be bold and make your choice. I think everyone of us we aspire to grow up to be an adult. A lot of especially in Asian culture, we are bound to our parents or our teachers' decisions. So I hope that everyone look inside what your individual self and think what you really want, because this is your life and you got to make decisions for yourself in the future. For me, Temasek Poly has been and will always be a memorable place for me. I totally enjoy my stay, and I find it to be very enriching. I've learned a lot and I've gained a lot. Temasek Poly can be a place where you can get trained to become a great scientist also. So these are the key takeaway messages that I have. Yep, and that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Chen, for the interesting sharing. It's very interesting, and he goes from the Polytechnic, from TP to university, then now is pursuing PhD. He also mentioned the curiosity and to explore the unknown. That's also what we want to do. For the new course, the Medical Biotechnology, it's not teaching. Most of the time, it will not be taught in the traditional way. We have integrated a lot of project-based learning, especially in year 2 and year 3 subjects. Of course, year 1, we need to learn a lot of basic knowledge, but year 2 and year 3, for example, we have one subject called bioapplications. For this subject, we also let the students to just try to propose ideas, and we give them materials for them to try and fail, and then come out a conclusion, or maybe even develop a prototype. So we hope to promote the students' intrinsic motivation in the explore and search and in the world of biotechnology and the biomedical science. Okay, I want to mention that the Q&A platform is open for question. So please post your question using the QR code. The QR code now is shown on the screen. We will answer your questions later at the Q&A session. Q&A session will come out after all the speakers has finished the talk. So now you can start to post your questions using this QR code. Okay. So after that, we'll answer your questions. Okay, I give you maybe 5 seconds if you, just in case you have any question and you still cannot scan the QR code. Okay, I think should be okay now. Later we'll show the QR code one more time if you don't have time to key your questions. Okay. Okay, when you are posting your questions, let's watch a short video done by our students, which will introduce another career pathway for medical biotechnology. Okay, let's watch the video. Okay, welcome back. Just now when Mr. Chen shared his experience, he's sharing his experience in a research laboratory. And after graduation, going to a research laboratory to work in the research laboratory is one of the major pathways for medical biotechnology. But we also have another major pathway, which is go to clinical laboratory. Clinical laboratory usually is in a hospital or in a private medical laboratory. So what do they do? For example, every day they get the specimens from the patients, which is sent by the doctor. For example, blood, urine, tissue, and many other specimens. They get the specimens, they do the test, prepare the report, and send it back to the medical doctor. For medical doctor to further using these testing results to diagnose disease. So this is what they do in a clinical laboratory. So for clinical laboratory, there are 5 major areas they need to learn. They need to learn in this course. And in the year 2, just now I mentioned there are 2 diploma options, and one diploma option is called Medical Laboratory Technology option, and that option will train the students to learn deeper in this area for clinical laboratory. So what they will learn is one is hematology, another one is clinical chemistry, clinical microbiology, histopathology, and last one is blood banking. So these 5 areas is 5 major medical laboratories in any hospital. In any hospital, these 5 laboratories are the major one. So if they want to work in the medical laboratory in a hospital, they must learn these 5 areas, or at least the first 3, which is hematology, clinical chemistry, and clinical microbiology, which are the 3 major laboratories in the laboratory medicine department in a hospital. Okay, so in this course, the Diploma in Medical Biotechnology, the option of Medical Laboratory Technology covers all these. Okay, so I hope now you understand another career pathway. After hearing Mr. Chen's research laboratory pathway, you also watch the video, understand another pathway, which is go to clinical laboratory. So now let's hear another speaker sharing. Ms. Tarina is our year 2 student. Tarina is also one of the student leaders of Medical Biotechnology Interest Group. So Tarina, it's your time.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Jiang. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tarina, currently in my 2nd year of study. Today I'll be sharing about my journey thus far as a medical biotechnology student in Temasek Poly. So before I begin, I'll start off with a small introduction about myself. I graduated from Eastview Secondary School 2 years ago, and back then I was in the double pure science stream, taking both chemistry and physics. So right now, some of you might be wondering why I would take up a course that isn't much of relevance to what I studied in secondary school. So during my streaming year, I did not know what was best for me, and I just accepted what I was offered. However, I realized that physics wasn't my strength over time, and it's something that I didn't enjoy studying. I also tend to start growing a passion towards biology. So yeah, I decided to switch from a physics student to a bio student in poly. So my main point here is for all the graduates here, do not be too restricted by what you're currently studying. It is definitely okay to try and take up something new as long as you have a strong passion towards it. Be adventurous, and I believe what matters most would be whether or not you're enjoying the course you're studying. Even more, year one is really building on our fundamentals and basic knowledge, so don't worry that you won't be able to catch up. Our lecturers will be able to help you along the way as well. So to provide some insights on what we do and learn in this diploma, here are some pictures that I took during the lab session. Sorry, do you have the slides? It's okay. So for the pictures, so for what we do in our lab sessions, we do culturing of specimens on agar plate to isolate bacteria, and then we'll use the information that we observe, like the morphology of the bacteria, to determine further testing and identification of the bacteria species. The picture with 4 tubes on the right is to test for the glucose level in each patient urine specimen. So to sum up my first part of sharing, I would like to share a quote with you by Steve Jobs. So he said, "The only way to do great work is to love what you do. And if you haven't found it yet, keep looking." So for those who are still unsure on what course you like to take on, there are still time for you to explore your interest and passion before the application period begins. I also like to recommend you to really take some time during this break to discover your interest and think about what you want to achieve after your 3 years of study. And one way to look into the suitability of the course would be really just checking out on the modules that you'll be learning on the Polytechnic website. So as for MBT, you can search T64 on Google. So moving on, TP have also allowed me to achieve a work-life balance. So now I'll be talking about the extracurricular activities available for students other than the usual CCAs that you and I took in secondary school. There are a total of 5 different diplomas under the School of Applied Science. In short, ASC, and MBT is one of them. For each diploma, there is an interest group that will come up with events to enrich and enhance the welfare of the students under their own diploma. So besides the interest group, we also have ASC Studies Club, which do up events catered to all the students under ASC. So for both the Studies Club and interest group, every year there will be recruitment of new main committee members and subcommittee members. Main committee members will be mainly the ones planning the projects, while the subcom member will be assisting and executing the event. They also get to get a glimpse on how projects were planned and executed. So here are some events like voluntary events and bonding camps, the MBT interest group plan, and our MBT interest group name is called MBIG, which is the abbreviation of Medical Biotech Interest Group. Okay, next slide. Here are some events ASC Studies Club also plan. They are usually the ones that are in charge of open house, freshman orientation, and occasional blood donation drives within the campus. So if you happen to join TP and want to have an enriching and fun-filled life, do join us to serve the school, while you will be able to broaden your social circles. It is also a great opportunity to step out of your comfort zone and build on your leadership portfolio. Lastly, some heads up to those who are interested in pursuing their studies in Polytechnic. Do take note that self-discipline, time management, initiative, and consistency are very important. As compared to secondary school, lectures in Polytechnic are conducted with a large group of students, so the lecturers may not be able to cater to the needs of every student in the lecture hall. So do always take initiative when you have doubts or you have any questions. So in MBT, our assignments are also, not all of our assignments are test-based. We also have individual and group projects and presentations to work on, with their submissions being very near the exam period. So time management plays a key role. And due to COVID-19, most of our lectures are also pre-recorded. Last but not least, even though the journey might not always be smooth sailing, always believe that consistent hard work and effort will lead to great success. With that, I have come to the end of my sharing. Thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best for your O-level results. Do always remember to have an open mind and have a work-life balance. Thank you.
Dr. Chang, you are muted.
Okay. Sorry. I think just now because of some tech issue, my mic is muted. I forgot to unmute it. Okay. Thank you, Tarina, for sharing. So once again, I would like to thank both speakers for the sharing. So please remember to post questions on the platform. I think I will. Here's a QR code again. So if just now you don't have time to scan the QR code, now maybe I give you another 10 seconds to scan the QR code. Okay. And if you don't have the chance to scan your QR code, actually the link also is below, is at the bottom of the screen. So you can just use the link also to access the survey platform to ask questions. Not survey, not nice. Question platform. Okay, sorry. Okay, now I would like to share more details to you about this course. So this course, just now you have already heard the two major career pathways. You also heard the life experience from one of our students. So I would like to share some slides with you about the details of this course. So this course is MBT, Medical Biotechnology. Just now I mentioned is considered as a merger of the Diploma in Biotechnology and Biomedical Science, but it's not a simple combination. We are not just combining the subjects from biotechnology with the subjects from the biomedical science. No, it's not that. Before setting up this new course, actually, we visited many industry partners, including the hospitals, research laboratories, biotechnology companies, and even some universities. So we asked them, what is required? What is the industry requirement for the graduates? So they give us many feedbacks. According to the feedback, we come out the first draft, send it to them. They're not satisfied. They say, no, still something here, I'm not comfortable. Something there, I'm not comfortable. They give further more comments. So based on the comments, we modified again, and this ding dong several times. And finally, when we sent final version, before the final version, I will be sent to the industry partners and ask them their opinions. They're very satisfied. They just some of them even tell us, do you have this type of graduates now? If you have this type of graduates, we will hire them immediately. So this is what we get before we send these documents to MOE for approval. So this is how we come up this new course. And this new course, we covered not only the traditional job career pathway, traditional jobs, we also covered many emerging areas. So make sure that our graduates after graduation and for gentlemen after NS and after many years, they still can find a job. They still can work in those areas. So this is the emerging areas, including many. Here, I just give you some example. So personalized medicine research, stem cell therapy, and synthetic biology. So all these, we have get the recommendations from the different industry partners, and they show us what they are doing. They say, because we are doing this, so we need what type of employees, and because we are doing that, we need that type of employees who need these skills. But we also need to remember, we cannot teach our students everything, and something taught in the school, someday it will also become obsolete. So we are not only focusing on the technical skills, we also try to train students on problem-solving skills, creativity, the lifelong learning skills, so-called. So no matter how many years they graduated, they can still adapt it to the change of the environment and can find a job at that time. So this is the whole idea of how the new course was designed. So you can see for this course, we have 2 diploma options in year 2. Just now, I explained the details of medical laboratory technology option. That's train students to work in a clinical laboratory. And another option is personalized medicine research, which is train students to either work in a research laboratory or biotechnology testing laboratory. So for personalized medicine research, we focus on the 3 major areas. This one we also check with the industry. So we ask industry partners, what is the requirement for people to work in this area? They told us, first, molecular biology technology and the cell technology, cell technology. Then this one definitely is a must. Then they also must have the skills on biochemical analysis and microbiology skills. So these 4 areas will be covered in this option, and they will learn deeper in this option. Okay. So in year 3, they will have the chance to choose different elective clusters in the school, and finally, in the last semester, we'll send them out to the real company for the real supervisor to do real projects. So we call this student internship, and at the same time, they need to do a major project. The career opportunities, just now I mentioned 2 major ones, which is medical laboratory technologies is working in a clinical laboratory and research laboratory. But here, that's the 2 major one, does not cover all. Here, we also show that they can be clinical research technologies, they can be QA and QC technologies. QA is quality assurance, QC is quality control technologies. They can also be a teacher. They can also be a product specialist. We also have students who got the offer from the other universities to study business, to study veterinary science, to study forensic technology, to study bioengineering. So there are many pathways for this diploma, because this diploma, the course curriculum is very broadened. So after graduation, they can choose many different pathways. This is the advantage of taking this course. Next slide, please. So for medical biotechnology, the applications, here is some examples of the applications. Does not cover all. For example, the one who focus more on the biotechnology, they can go after graduation, they can go to focus on developing innovative products for disease testing, a testing kit. For example, the COVID-19 kit. A COVID-19 kit, I think you heard the news, the COVID-19 kit, Singapore has developed the golden standard of COVID-19 kit. Who has done that? An A-Star Research Institute, which is EDDC. Okay. So at the Biopolis. So this is Singapore's research institute. They can also produce new treatment to disease. Okay, they can also discover new drugs and new vaccines for different disease. So this is for those who focus more on the biotechnology areas. Let's look at the right side. The right side, I think, is you have seen this in the video. So right side is for the clinical laboratory part. For clinical laboratory part, they just use what the left side, those biotechnology people have developed. They just buy it from the market and use it. For example, the biotechnologists developed a new kit for testing, for diagnosis. Then the clinical laboratory just buy it and use it and get the results, write the report, then send it to the medical doctor. So hope you understand the whole picture now about the career opportunities. So next slide, please. So this one, I already mentioned the two major pathways. One is research and a research laboratory. One is the clinical laboratory. Okay, next slide, please. So in this course, we are not only do we teach you all the basic important skills and knowledge, we are also try to train students to be a lifelong learner. So we have Makers Lab. We have Makers Lab. The Makers Lab. One example I mentioned just now is a bio application. We let the students to propose ideas. Then we give them the time and the materials to try and fail, and then finally may come out some conclusion or some better ideas, or even come out some prototypes. They can go use the prototypes, go for competition, or to collaborate with the external parties. Okay, so this is some of our students who is doing the real project, and I think one of it is developed some insect repellers, which is organic insect repellers. Okay, so next slide, please. Just now I mentioned the last semester we'll send the students out for 6 months internship. So the internship will cover will be both local and overseas. But of course, for this year, because of COVID-19, and maybe next year also, because of COVID-19, we cannot send students to overseas. But for local, we send the students to A-star institutes, universities, hospitals, service laboratories, biopharmaceutical companies, biotechnology companies, and also government agencies. Okay, next slide, please. Here shows some examples of the places for our internship. SGH, Thermo Fisher, Duke MS, A-star institutes. The biotech is a national laboratory at Thailand. Okay, next please. This is another one. It's an overseas university in China, Harbin Medical University in Australia, RMIT University. Previously not COVID-19 this year. Previously we sent them to these universities for the internship, to follow the supervisor to do the real projects. Okay, next one, please. Okay, I think that's all I would like to share with you today, and hope after this sharing, you understand the whole picture of what this course is about and what this course is trying to train you for what. Okay, so now it's time for Q&A. Okay, let me see if there's any questions now. Okay, we have first question already. The question said, is a diploma qualification sufficient to do research? What would the career progression be like? Okay, that's a very good question. The answer is yes. Yes, diploma qualification is sufficient to do research. Actually, now many of our fresh graduates actually are working in the research laboratories. What they are doing, they are either be a research officer or they call it research officer, research assistant, research technician. Actually, they are the same thing. They are doing the same thing. Just name, the title is different. So what do? They follow a supervisor. The supervisor will get the fund. They decide the direction, the big picture of what we need to do for the whole lab. And the technician will be the one to really do the experiment, get the results. And they will also be involved in lab management. For example, purchasing some new items, maintain the equipment, so do all this lab management. So yes, a diploma holder is qualified to do research. But if your aim is to go further, to be a supervisor in the lab, okay, or to be a principal investigator, for many projects, then if you want to decide what project we are going to do, you are the boss, then you need to at least get a postgraduate degree, and usually you need to get a PhD degree to be a boss in the research laboratory. But if you just want to do the research, want to do all the tests, a diploma holder is good enough. Okay, thanks for the question. So let's see if I have the next question. Tarina, do you need to do a lot of group work or group assignments? Do you like it? Tarina, this question is for you. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll just answer the first part of the question first.
Okay.
So as for now, I would say like in year one, there will not be a lot of group work or assignment, but then when it comes to year two, you'll be more eventually. So for now, I have like 5 modules, and then I have like 5 to 6 group works, ranging from lab reports to problem-based learning. You just solve as a group. Okay, do I like it? I'm pretty neutral about it because I'm more exposed to like working with different kind of people, and I also learn how to handle different kind of situations. And I mean, if you are given like a really like difficult task, and then you have like a group to work together, and then it's better and like will be more productive. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Tarina. Okay, yes, for some of our subjects we have group work, and for this type of group work, no matter you like it or not, you have to do it. But it's a very good chance to develop your skills in teamwork. And after graduation, there will be many chances you need to work as a team. So that's why group assignment is very important. But it's not a big part for the subjects. Most of the subjects, the maximum percentage of a group work will be maximum 20%. So 20% or less. That's for most of the subjects. Yeah. And some subjects, they even don't have any group work. Okay. So I see another question. Am I still eligible to apply to this course, even though I don't have any biology background knowledge? Okay. If you don't have any biology background knowledge, it's okay. Just now you heard Tarina. She was previously has physics background. So we get the students who has at least science background. Okay, science background, we hope at least have a chemistry background. No matter it's pure chemistry or combined chemistry, that's okay. Because for the chemistry, although we will teach from the beginning, but we will go slightly faster compared to secondary school for the basic knowledge. Okay, so we hope the students at least have some chemistry background. If they come. If they don't have the biology background, it's okay because we'll teach them from the beginning. For example, what is cell membrane, we'll teach from the beginning. Of course, if you already have a biology background, it's better because for the basic knowledge, we'll also go much faster than compared to secondary school. Yeah, we'll not repeat again, but we will teach from the beginning. But if you actually you manage your time well and study by yourself well, you should be no problem without a biology background. Currently, we already have some students do not have biology background, and many of them are doing very well. Okay, so I hope I answered this question. Okay. Let me see if I have another question. What are the major challenges of working in a research lab? This one, maybe I will ask Mr. Chen, Mr. Chen Home. So Mr. Chen, according to your, Mr. Chen, Mr. Chen, according to your experience, what are the major challenges working in the research lab?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you, but I cannot see you. Maybe it's my setting issue. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for research lab, I think so I think The first is hours. I think because of the nature of the work, we have to be flexible in our hours. Sometimes you can come early, sometimes we go very late, but usually we spend a lot of time in the lab. And because we are very excited to find out the experimental results. So I think sometimes we will get carried away. Researchers will get carried away with the interest in the work, neglecting other aspects of personal life. So I think that's a major challenge. And another challenge that we face is the creativity. We always got to be creative on how to solve technical problems and how to create new research directions. I think those are the two key challenges that any researchers, either PhD students or researchers, will face.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, thanks for your answer. Okay. Another question is that I'm still unsure, will I have to choose biomedical or biotechnology in this course, or does this course encompass both? Very good question. Maybe I confused you. Sorry about this. So this is when I am a speaker, I just talk, and you still have this type of question. Okay, so yes, you just need to choose medical biotechnology. It covers both. I tell you what. Although I mentioned year one, when you come to year one, you will learn exactly the same thing. No matter which diploma option you will choose, you will learn exactly the same thing. Cover all the basic skills for microbiology, biochemistry, cell technology, and the molecular biology. Already cover all this already. And year two, every year has 2 semesters, right? Every year has 2 semesters. So we have one April semester and October semester. So for the year 2, the first semester, you will still learn exactly the same thing. Okay. So 3 semesters learn all the basic skills and knowledge required for both areas already. So after learning all these, you should be able to work in both areas. Then the year 2, the second semester, which is a 4th semester, you will choose one of the diploma options, focus either more on biotechnology or more on biomedical science. So that's to let you to go deeper. But we confirm with all the industry partners, no matter which diploma options you choose. For example, you choose biotechnology option. Does not mean you can only work in research lab and cannot work in clinical laboratory. They will hire our students. They will the industry partners has already confirmed. They will also hire students from these diploma options. The clinical laboratory will hire students from biotechnology options, and the research laboratory will also hire graduates from the medical laboratory option. Okay, clinical laboratory option. So you don't need to worry. You just come get this diploma. You are good for both career pathways. So if your career pathway is either of these 2, just choose this diploma. Just choose diploma. After graduation, you'll be able to work in both areas. So this is what we confirm with the industry. Hope this will make sure you will feel comfortable. Yeah, after this. Okay. Because of the time, okay, we cannot answer more questions. Although we cannot answer all your questions today, hope this chat session has given you some idea of the possible career opportunities if you join Diploma in Medical Biotechnology. So we will have our open house in January. Do join us then, and more details will be on website soon. And I will also introduce more details in the open house. So we also hope to improve our future sessions. Please do help us by giving us your feedback via the scan of a new QR code. Now we have a new QR code. Please do give us some feedback of this session. Thank you. The QR code is different from the Q&A session 1. Okay, please do. It's a very short one. It's very easy to fill the survey form. Okay, just within 1 minute, I think you can done. Less than 1 minute, you can done. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Okay, see you in the open house. Bye-bye.